After I recorded my video on why billion-dollar companies continually get sued over website accessibility, it got me thinking. And it got me thinking that I've seen this play before. In 2012, I wrote a book on the bar exam. And so in today's video, I'm going to relate really what was happening in that book and what I was trying to alert people to. And I'm going to relate that to ADA compliance. So behind me, I have a rudimentary chart, and there's two columns. And so a lot of things are very similar with the bar exam and ADA compliance. And let's start with the objectives. Well, with the bar exam, all you want to do is pass the exam. It doesn't matter how high you score unless you want a superficial, notice or a certificate. It really doesn't matter how high you score. And with ADA compliance, the objective for most companies is simply not to get sued. Of course, they want to improve the accessibility of their website, but when they start, they just want to prevent litigation. So how do they do that, right? So with bar review courses and accessibility companies, one of the similarities is that many times there are a lot of offerings and they're used to justify their price. So I have the offerings listed on both sides, and then I have price justification. So with the bar review courses, I remember there were mobile apps you could download, there were attorney graders that would grade your essays, there were lectures, there were subject outlines, and there were practice workbooks. And then with accessibility companies, they have reports, there are dashboards, there might be support tickets and meetings, and there could be scans and audits as a part of a package that they're selling you. So all of these things can be good, right? Like sometimes it's helpful, right? Sometimes it's helpful to have a one-on-one. Sometimes it's helpful to have the ability to contact support. But those all add up to the cost, and on the bar exam side, same thing. All of these features add to the cost. And the problem with both is they are neither efficient nor effective at achieving the desired result. So what happens is you can still reach your desired result. So let's think about the bar exam. If someone studies hard enough and they put in enough hours and they keep studying and they keep talking to attorney graders and reading the mobile apps on their lunch break and listening to audiobooks, they can still pass, right? It's not that you can't have all of these things and still pass. It's just not efficient and not effective because it takes longer and it costs more money. You're being charged for all of these things, but you're also spending more time and you're not getting to the point. What I did with the bar exam, if you read my book, what it really says is I extract what you really need from the apps, the attorney graders, etc. All you really need to do to pass the bar exam is to practice the questions over and over again. And that's what I eventually figured out, is that these bar review courses, a lot of this is unnecessary. A lot of this is price justification. How do we justify this price? Because they can't justify, it was $3,000 a course when I was taking it. They can't justify the price if it's just, hey, here's a workbook, study this until you reach 2,000 questions, and then study the last 7 years of essay exams. That's not going to justify $3,000 because they just told you the answer. And so now, in present day, I'm working in ADA compliance, and I developed the ADA compliance course to do the same thing. I'm just telling you the answer. Here's the answer. Yes, all of this can be helpful. Audits are good things, right? But if we want to prevent litigation, we don't need to engage with all of this. There is no precision. There is no directness. We need to know immediately what issues plaintiffs' lawyers are looking for. We need to find those and fix those. And that's what I do in my course. Here are the answers. It's all right in front of you. So there's no need for a dashboard or reports or premium scans or really even a bunch of meetings with me, we don't need all of that because I'm telling you the answers. I lay it out. I've already gone through the course, provided code examples, told you exactly where to look for, tell you where to pay attention to, tell you common problem spots. All that's in the course. It's all there. I just tell you the answer. So I don't need to try to justify tens of thousands of dollars to sign up because I just give you the answer. There's not a dedicated professional. There's not a custom dashboard where you can sort through all of your accessibility issues. I don't have 5 scans. Scans are available for free. So as you can see, there are a lot of similarities here between when I wrote the bar exam book in 2012 and now with the ADA compliance course. I'm just giving you the answers. This is what you need to pay attention to. And think about it. Just think about it logically, right? If I want to prevent a lawsuit, and let's say we're in an industry and there are about 20 plaintiffs' law firms that are very active, and I look through those complaints filed by the plaintiffs' law firms, I know exactly what they keep pointing to as accessibility issues that end up as a claim on their complaint. So if I look through enough complaints, eventually I get to the point where I know what the plaintiffs' law firms are looking for. So I need to resolve those issues on my website. And if I have the instructions on how to resolve those issues, then I'm going to significantly reduce my risk of litigation. The course is not designed for perfection. The course is designed to reduce your risk of litigation immediately. After that, then you can work towards full WCAG conformance, which is best practice. WCAG 2.1 AA conformance, you start with the course and then you continue on. But perfection is not required. With the bar exam, there is no A+. You either hit a certain score or you don't. If you're 1 point below, you don't pass. If you're at the score or 1 point above, you pass. Similarly, with ADA compliance, perfection really isn't required because plaintiffs' lawyers are looking for key issues. What happens is they look for these key issues. If there are enough, they are much more likely to initiate litigation, at which point they are going to pile on other issues to really tell the story and make the argument that your website is wholly inaccessible. But it really comes down to a core of 15 issues. And then we'll see, I've added a plus sign, we'll see a few more, but usually if you resolve these 15, your risk of litigation is very significant. So, I tell you, again, it happened in 2012, it's happening 11 years later in 2023. I'm telling you the answers. This is it. This is fundamental, right? With the bar exam, I was looking at I looked at the old bar exams, and the bar exams were really just different iterations, different versions of the same questions they've asked previously. Sure, they threw in a few new questions every now and then, but for the most part, the bar exam consisted of recycled questions that were mixed up and remixed, changed a little bit. And with plaintiffs' law firms and the claims that they're making, they're really the same claims over and over again, because really, how many claims could there be? In WCAG 2.1 AA, there are 50 success criteria or requirements for conformance. So you really just need to know about those different accessibility considerations and then focus in on what the plaintiff's lawyers focus in on. So while all of these things can be helpful, I'm not going to discount, right? Scans are helpful. Audits are helpful. They're all helpful. An audit is going to be necessary for full conformance. But to immediately address your need, which is why most people are looking into accessibility, because they want to stop and prevent litigation, you need to focus in on the accessibility issues that give rise to litigation. And that is what my course is dedicated to. I tell you the exact answers. I tell you the strategy. I tell you how to prioritize. It's all there. My course is the ADA compliance course, and I will link to it below.